Hello and welcome to the final chapter of the first book in this series, A Course of Love. This is a review of chapter 32. It's a short chapter to end this section and get us moving toward the treatises. So welcome. The title is Love, Return to Love. So we start talking about a teacher. A teacher is anything that helps you remember and is not confined to our old ways of thinking about a teacher. So in other words, that doesn't mean that a teacher is a human or a personality. It's anything that helps you remember who you actually are. And in fact, in verse 1, he says, it can truly be said that all of life is your teacher. There is not one aspect of it that is not designed to help you remember who you are. This is a big promise, so that we can look at our lives, what's happening, what our experiences are, what's presenting itself, and know that that's my teacher right there. And it was perfectly chosen for the lesson that I need at this time. So instead of hiding from whatever is happening to us, or instead of trying to distract ourselves from whatever is presenting itself in our lives, we look at it and go, oh, this is my teacher. Let's accept it and allow it and see it for what it truly is. The form of your world reflects back to you both who you are and who you are not. It is in telling the difference between the two that you need guidance. In the past, you've looked to those who didn't know the difference for guidance. Now you need to look for a different source. So what this is telling us, so something comes up in our lives and it's uncomfortable. And we allow it and we see it clearly and realize, oh, that's not who I really am. I'm going to let that go. Now that's an instance of seeing who you are not. And your life will also show you who you are. Something presents itself and there's a deep resonance in you. There's a shift. There's a way of seeing that's different, that now allows you to see who you are. So your life itself is giving you your individualized curriculum for you to remember who you are and bring you back home. Now this part where it says, in the past you looked to those who didn't know the difference for guidance. They may have known the difference about their own path, but that's not your path. They may be able to help you be more skillful in navigating the illusion, but your path is uniquely yours, and your teacher is your life, and it's your responsibility to come at your own life as it presents itself with an open mind and open arms and see what the lesson is. So it tells us we need to look to a different source to figure out what's me and what's not me. And that source is love. Where is that source located? Within yourself. So we ask ourselves, what would love have me do in this situation? Something comes up and your old conditioning says, oh, I need to protect myself here. Or society says I should do that, or my friends tell me this. That way is gone. Now it's time to go within and say, what would love have me do in this situation? And until the idea, the thought, the feeling comes to you that resonates that this is completely coming from love. That if this person I'm interacting with, this situation that's presenting itself is me, and I want to be as loving as I possibly can. Not loving as the way the world interprets it, but the love that resonates from within myself. That's what I'm going to do. What would love have me see? So instead of just kidding myself and hiding the truth from myself. When something presents itself in my life, I really want to look and say, okay, what should I be seeing here? What's the motivation behind this? Where did this come from? What's the projection here? These are the questions of inquiry that we use love, that resonating like, oh yeah, that is our guidance. And what would love have me say? Before I speak, I really go within and find out, what does love say I should do here, should say? What are the words that would be most helpful? What's the truth? Again, back to the preceding chapter. What is the truth that I should say? And this source is within you, not outside of you. Love is your source, and it's available in every situation for the asking. All learning will return you to your source, which is love. So we go on to verse 2. The way in which you experience relationship with each aspect of creation is different, despite the oneness of creation. It is here the difference you so prize as your uniqueness exists, and only there. Only in relationship are you uniquely you. Only relationship exists, for love is relationship. So let's back up a little bit on this. First, we're told that when we experience relationship, and that's true whether it's relationship with another person, or with this moment, or with this situation, or relationship with myself, with my smaller self, that's where our uniqueness exists. Because what we are doing here on this plane is we are combining form and God. And because there's the element of form where there is a unique aspect, this is your true uniqueness. So we may know the same person, we may love the same person, but that relationship is going to be different. So here's where your uniqueness exists, and only there. Then he goes on to say that only in relationship are you uniquely you, because you're retaining your essential elements. You're retaining your true identity. And only relationship exists. That's quite a statement. But that's because everything's connected. So nothing exists outside of relationship, because nothing's separate. For love is relationship. And of course, love is what you are. So it's only by joining, again, remembering the true meaning of love is joining. When I join this moment, when I join this experience, now I'm in relationship with it. And now I am actually who I am. Until you realize that you are love, you are the learner of what you are. Then you become the teacher of what you are, and mind and heart join in the embrace. So once you've actually learned that you are love, and not just on a belief level, but on an experiential level, once there's a true recognition of that, then you teach what you are to everyone that you meet, because there's a recognition that your mind and heart are joined, and that you're whole, and that you know who you are. And everywhere you go, you can't help but teach that just by your very existence. In verse 4, he tells us, this course has succeeded in ways you do not yet understand and have no need to understand. These words have entered your heart and sealed the rift between your mind and heart. Be true to love, and you cannot fail to be true to yourself. Now, there's really a mouthful in between the lines on this verse. For one thing, it's been my experience, and it's been hinted at throughout this course, that there's a sort of transmission going on as we've been studying. It's not just theory, There's an energy transmission that has been happening. And that's what he's telling us here. You don't even need to understand what's been going on. It's been going on. And he gives us a little advice at the end: be true to love, and you cannot fail to be true to yourself, capital S. This is really such a huge concept. It seems simple when you look at it, but recognize that your higher self, your divine self, your real self cannot exist in a vibration of fear. Can't do it. It doesn't exist at that level. Well, at least you're perceiving it at that level. It's just fear is false and it can't go there. So what he's telling us is be true to love, and you can't fail to be true to yourself. But when you slip into fear, then you're not being true to yourself. So it becomes a sort of vigilance then, watching yourself when fear comes up, anxiety comes up, all of those things that are caused by the root of fear. Then there's a recognition that the small self is what's operating, the personal self. And once that recognition is had, then, the ideal thing is to go, oh, I see that there's fear here, and drop that and trade it for love. What would love have me do? What would love have me say? And then you'll be true to your actual self, which is the goal, which is what we're all about here. Then stop thinking. Give your thoughts to the Christ, to union. Just a reminder of the kind of an affirmation that he gave us earlier is I dedicate all thoughts to union. That you can just use that over and over again. I dedicate all thoughts to union. I want to join. I don't want to separate. I don't want to come from fear. And thoughts, when we think they're real and we believe them and they're fear-based, they can keep us spinning. So when our thoughts come up, just recognize that. I dedicate all thoughts to union. And in the last verse, he tells us, this is the miracle to end all miracles, the only accomplishment of the only Son of God. For what your heart has shared with your mind is shared with all minds, and what your heart has to share is only love. Thus has love, which is you, returned to love. So here we are at the end of book 1, and it has been a wonderful ride. And I can assure you that the treatises that are to follow will take us even deeper. So I hope that you'll continue to follow these reviews. And thank you so much for studying A Course of Love and allowing these words to enter your heart and allowing you to transform as the one mind that we share recognizes itself. Thank you.